Hey guys, is this thing on?
I'm sure I plugged it in. Is that plugged in over there?
Andy, is this thing on?
Check in. 1, 2.
Is this thing on?
Check. I have phantom power.
Song still makes me cry.
Welcome to Chicks with Gear, the podcast, where three lifelong friends get together to drink some coffee, play some music, talk about gear, and our quest for the most awesome acoustic sound on stage. I'm Deb.
I'm Julie,
I'm Andy.
who's not a chick. He's our resident gearhead. Andy, what day is it?
Julie, coffee and jam.
Yes, I love Coffee and Jam Day. You know why? Because it means we have a guest with us in Studio 3.0, and I'm so excited.
This is my favorite day too, Julie, because we have one of our most favorite people in the studio today with us, the fabulous Chaz Williams.
Oh, yes.
Welcome to the studio.
Hey, Chaz.
Thank you.
Welcome, Chaz.
Welcome.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Glad to have you.
Glad to be here as well.
Well, Chaz, we've known you a really long time, haven't we?
Yeah, pretty good while.
Yep, early 90s. And if you don't know Chaz Williams, he is a man of many trades. He's the fabulous guitar player, plays just about everything with strings, don't you? What do you play?
Mostly guitar and dobro, slide instruments.
I've seen a banjo in your house.
Yeah,
too.
there was banjo at one time.
It's gone.
It's no, it's still there, but I'm very careful about opportunities to play banjo and making sure they're only within a certain beat per minute.
What's your favorite banjo song to play on the banjo?
I used to like to play Blackberry Blossom a lot.
That's one of
We're
my-
learning that one.
I love that song.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
I don't play it very well yet.
Well, I don't play it at all on the banjo anymore. So.
Well, good that you didn't bring your banjo today. So
No.
Okay, good.
And is this a funny little story about Chaz? When we were putting our band together and looking for a guitar player, somebody said, "Oh, you need Chaz Williams to play guitar with you," and he wrote the book. And I was like, "Oh, okay, he wrote a book." And then somebody else said, "Oh, Chaz Williams, he's fabulous." And did you know he wrote the book? So finally, I had to say, "Well, what book did he write?" But it's fabulous because you wrote. Chaz, tell us about your book.
Wrote a book called The Nashville Number System.
Yes.
It's all about the Nashville Number System.
What numbers are we talking about, Chaz?
We're talking about turning chords letters into numbers.
Oh, it's magic.
So we're writing a chord chart with numbers instead of letters.
It is magical.
And why does Nashville do that, Chaz?
Say again?
Why does Nashville do that? Why do they change the chords into numbers?
There's about a bunch of reasons. I guess the biggest reason is you don't have to have a key.
That's right.
So the key is going to be the tonic 1, and you can write an entire arrangement and then decide to change the key later. And the chart stays the same.
That's fabulous.
Nobody has to rewrite a chart.
And when you're on stage,
Yeah.
it's easy to yell out, "One!"
Yeah.
Everybody on one.
That's the Nashville language.
Yeah.
is, you
Get
know.
on 4.
Yeah,
Hey, what's the
crazy
intro?
in C sharp, girls. Thank you very much. It was,
Yeah, C sharp minor 7 flat 5. That's a hard one to transpose on the fly.
No, that one's not in the book.
sorry. didn't
But
mean
yeah,
to
if you
cut
have
in.
somebody says, okay, the intro, but you got a guy that had never played with you, like I did with y'all at
Yes.
Tootsie's at
Yep.
one time, the first time. What's the intro? It's 1511 in the key of C.
And then you would know exactly what chords
So
to
yeah,
play.
so there we go. We're off and running.
So the book is a book that helps people understand that. Can you
Yeah.
expound more on that for our
Yeah,
fans listening today?
Sure. The book I wrote trying to teach people how to learn how to write number charts. And it starts with a little bit of music theory, just understanding what chords are and how you come up with the numbers for the chord. And then as I was getting deeper into writing the book, I've realized that a lot of people have different styles of writing number charts, and there really wasn't any particular way that was right or wrong, but different. And so I approached some of the musicians around town, like Charlie McCoy and Jimmy Capps, and I asked them to write charts of the same song. So you could compare while you're listening to a song, you could compare the different styles of chart writing.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So
That is brilliant.
It is brilliant.
well,
You're a
lucky.
genius.
So I guess wasn't sleeping a lot or something. Anyway,
Do we happen to have the book here today?
yes.
Would you
Oh,
like
that's
me to
okay.
get it?
Happened to.
Oh, there. It might be easier for you to get it.
Had a copy right back there besides your pink DI, which is pretty cool. I've never seen one of those before.
Chaz, what edition are you up to?
This is edition 11.
Wow.
Wow.
So
We have to clap for that. That's a lot of work.
There it is.
anyway,
And where can they get these books?
most people get it at Amazon. You can order it from Amazon or you can order it from my website, NashvilleNumberSystem.com.
And the really cool thing, so one of my neighbors, I was telling Chaz this earlier, that this young man, he's going to Berkeley, and he was so excited to tell me about this book that his professor gave him, and it was Chaz's book. So I'm like, hey, I know that guy.
You know that guy. He's going to be on our podcast.
I appreciate you talking about it. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got one thing I can show you real quick.
Yeah.
I've got thank yous here in the back of the book,
Oh, yeah, fabulous.
and one of them is Andy Most.
Oh,
Andy helped me a ton.
oh my gosh. That is so.
Yeah, Andy.
You're welcome, Chaz.
Andy,
you
you're a
helped
genius
me.
too. Oh, sorry, Andy. I talked over you.
Andy's so well educated in music theory that
He is.
I would call him all the time and say, "How do you write this certain notation?" And he would tell me. And
Sometimes it was right.
I think most times it was probably
Yeah,
right.
most.
Andy knows all the
Most
chords,
times.
he does.
all the big ones.
Way to go. Oh. And I have learned them, some of them.
Well, that is most awesome.
Thank you.
Well-
Well, it kind of caught on and took a life of its own, and not really too much advertising or anything, word of mouth. So, kind of very fortunate.
There used to be, there may still be, this really great writer's night, different than most writer's night, where songwriters would bring 2 songs with their charts. Chaz was in the band. I subbed for Chaz many times on many things that Chaz has turned me on to. And it was great for them learning to write charts. Although I do remember Mike Jordan playing keys. I don't think I was there, but I heard about it. One of the charts, he actually lit on fire because he did not like the fire. I think it was a Douglas Corner or something.
Oh, that's probably not
Anyway.
good.
He lit it on
I
fire.
think so.
That's aggressive.
Don't bring me this anymore. Read the book.
He definitely wasn't
Sorry.
playing in the
Yeah.
key of love. That's for sure.
He
That
was,
was a
he was
great-
known for making statements.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, that was the beginning of this book, because we had songwriters coming up, and the band couldn't see the writers as they were singing. We were just watching their thumbs on the guitar neck,
Oh, yeah.
trying to follow the chords and guess where they're going, and it ended up with a bunch of train wrecks. So we decided, man, we got to have a class on writing number charts.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that
awesome.
was great.
So yeah, it was great till we got to Sweet Home Alabama. And then couldn't decide on
Wait, what?
what was the one chord.
Right.
Is the one chord.
Well, it is the one chord in Sweet Home Alabama.
I think there are many opinions on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like D.
I like D.
Oh, we're in agreement.
I liked it.
But
We do a lot in D.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
it started many battles, that
Yeah.
discussion there.
I am sure. Because it's hard. It's, when somebody's just, you're sitting in with somebody and you don't know the song, especially if it's an original song, you don't
The guy
have
who
any
wrote the
idea.
book. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Right, no, go. He says D. We're going with D.
We're going
No
with
way.
D. And so Chaz, yes, one more clap. So Chaz has lots of talents.
Yes.
Besides being this incredible musician, and obviously an author, and helping people understand how to write their music. So great players like him and Andy can join in quickly.
Yes.
But you also have a studio in your home. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, he does.
Because we've been there.
Yeah, we recorded
recorded
some
there.
great things there.
Yes, we have. So tell us a little bit about your studio.
It's fortunately I have a good space to have a studio. I have a control room and then another room. You go through the bathroom to get to the bedroom, which it becomes the Murphy bed goes up into the wall. Then it becomes the drum room or the vocal room.
Yes.
Yes,
And,
we've seen Mr. Greg Stocky in that room.
Yeah. A lot of drummers come in there and play, and it's just a fortunate space. It's comfortable. People like recording there.
It's beautiful.
Kathleen's done most of the carpentry down there too.
Yeah, she did actually.
Really?
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's got an actual tool belt,
No way!
a golden tool
I love
belt.
that girl.
Way to go, Kathleen. I can render with a screwdriver
Oh, no.
and an Allen wrench. That is about it. Hammers, you'll see massive
Knives.
holes all over behind these paintings. Not good with hammers.
Yes.
Or knives, but that's not really a tool. That's more of a weapon.
She is banned from knives.
Yes.
Just a side note: Kathleen's family are all excellent do-it-yourselfers, and
Really?
so therefore she is good
She
at all that kind of
inherited
thing.
that.
Her dad was an electrician, so she's pulling out lights and wiring them and stuff.
Not that girl
And
after my own
family
heart.
is the exact opposite. I said,
So our new single that's coming out.
It's good promotion.
It was group promotion. We were all on it. And
Yes.
we recorded it at Chaz's studio.
Yes, we did.
Yes, with David Spiker, who happened to be here last week. So we're getting the whole
Yeah.
gang back together.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're excited that you were willing to get back together with us after all these years. We talked a little bit about that with David, but we had a band many years ago that Chaz and Andy and David were with us. And then we gave up music. And then 5 years ago, we decided to get back on stage and we got the band back together, literally. Like people use that expression all the
magical.
time. Let's get the band back together.
On a mission from God.
And we really did.
Let's see if anybody's paying attention.
Hey, y'all, you know what time it is?
No.
It's now time to Let's Talk Gear.
Oh, yes. It's our favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy's favorite segment.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
Chaz, let me say this first. Chaz has been a huge influence on me. Lots of reasons. Gear is one of them. But let me just say the way I met Chaz, although this will be a little bit about me, but very little. So when I first moved to town, moving to Nashville, no idea what to do, don't know anybody. Probably somebody said go to the Union, which is probably a fantasy. Nobody does that anymore. I don't know. So there's like a bulletin board. I was going to go look and see, like Dolly Parton's hiring a guitar player. All right, I'm in. But I saw a little card with somebody that I knew from Florida on it, Brent Moyer, who used to play in a band on the same circuit. And I was like, I know him. And I'm going to call him. So I called him up and he invited me to a barbecue, might be like the same weekend, next weekend. And Chaz was at this barbecue. And basically, well, besides, I would have never met you guys if not for Chaz, but
That's
it's
right.
pretty much 6 degrees of separation of Chaz. Everybody I know started from this barbecue. And Brent and Chaz invited me to play on a recording session of a song of his. And I was like, wow, man, I just moved to town. I'm playing on a session. And
with the
Anyway,
Chaz Williams.
so Chaz has turned me on to lots of great gigs, like this one here.
Yes.
Junior Lee Farrell.
You are a mind reader. And so there's a couple that weren't, but I would take everything.
Yeah.
There was one guy, he was about 100. No, I think he was probably like 70 at the time. Black hat, like Chaz turned me on to it. And when I don't think I ever did a gig with him, but when I called him, he was answering at a phone booth. That was his phone. Yeah. And then but Chaz has turned me on to a lot of great stuff. But there is one more. I just moved to town. He turned me on to this. I will not say the name. I can't remember the name. She was about 15. Can be next Tanya Tucker, kind of dating myself big time here. I forget where she lived. It was about an hour out of town. And so I go there for the rehearsal. And this lady opens the door. I won't even say women of Walmart. You can, that's all right. Anyway, her mother opens the door. Cut that part out. Her mother opens the door with a black eye. I'm like, wow. And then I walk in the house and I look in the living room and a dog had gone to the bathroom probably days ago and it's still there. And then I walk through to the kitchen. And this guy, he wasn't wearing a white beater shirt, but it was a white T-shirt. I figured the husband. And he was lighting cigarettes off the stove. And I was like,
Excellent.
what did I get into? Anyway, but Chaz also turned me on to the sisters. So that makes up for all of it. Anyway, thank you, Chaz.
Yes,
So
thank you for Chaz.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, you can cut all that out if you don't want. But
No, that's pretty
No,
funny.
I love it.
gear, when I met Chaz had like 2 amps and a rack of stuff, and I thought this is like the most amazing sound. And it all started there. So thanks, Chaz. I bet you still have all that stuff too.
Neatly organized.
It's kind of a mutual feeding frenzy on gear. Andy would get the newest, excellent sounding reverb, and his gear sounded fantastic. So I'd have to go check out that reverb.
Where'd you
Wonder
get
why
that?
mine doesn't sound the same way.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But thanks.
But yeah, it's we all kind of walked each other through new pieces of gear and the quest for whatever the tone was we were
Right.
going for.
The perfect sound. Yes.
Yeah.
I think we're all really liking Brent Mason's tone and Larry Carlton's tone, and wanted to be able to do all of that.
Absolutely.
Very difficult though. Never quite achieved it on my end, but
Oh, I don't know.
came
You
up
have
with,
your
I
own
guess, my
tone.
own sound in
Yeah.
Yeah.
the process. Which
So what did you use then? And then do you use any of those fancy pedals now? Like, do you like that? I mean, you play electric and acoustic guitar. So tell us what you like.
well, the back in that day, you had a couple of racks full of gear. Gear was a lot bigger back then. Now they
gonna
can
say.
make it in smaller packages, but I had a 14 space rack, and at one point I had a Fender concert amp matched with a
Yeah.
PV special, and eventually moved down to a few different amps, and then finally builders started making power amps, so we could buy a pair of Pacific 112 cabinets, which I think Jeff King kind of showed us that route.
Absolutely.
And so ended up with a pair of Pacific 112 ported cabinets with my rack and several different power amps, which ended up using the Mesa Boogie 2020 with the Marshall preamp.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff.
It was great fun. Oh my gosh. But it was also, oh my gosh, there's so many wires in the back of this rack and it's humming like crazy. It sounds awful. And
Yeah.
Andy, can you come over?
Let's take it all apart. Which one do you think it is?
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, all those little cables, they always go bad, don't they?
yes.
Yes.
They do.
But even if they're not bad,
They make noise.
If they're right next to each other or something's touching a rack rail wrong, you're going to get ground hums, and that was
Well,
many hours.
the good news, our
Searching
rigs
at it.
have gotten smaller and the girls have gotten larger. So
Yeah, right.
they've taken over.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
the girls have gotten larger. You mean like fat?
What are you saying? What are you saying?
Wait a minute.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, right.
So
may be true.
we copy Andy.
Yeah, we
Basically,
do.
we love Andy's sound. So we just copy him. And so we're always having these challenges with the pedal board. So I know Andy's has some questions for you about gear, but we would love to know about your pedal board down the road.
Yeah, I think you brought one.
Well, yeah. My whole career in Nashville has been trying to be an electric guitar player and switch to dobro and have a really good acoustic dobro sound. And
And you do.
I just could never quite get it all in one unit until just a few years ago, Fishman came out with the Jerry Douglas Aura pedal, which just instantly great sounding dobro. So a lot of the little microphones went away, and it just became so much easier to be heard from stage with a really usable, good dobro tone.
Oh yeah, because it's beautiful by itself. Like this is what we always joke around about, because sitting in the living room, boy, it sounds great, and then you go on stage and you're like, what the heck just happened?
But you've upped your game a little bit even more with a new preamp, right?
Yeah.
Or different, anyway. But
Yeah.
it sounded great at the last show we played.
Oh my
so-
gosh,
thank you.
sounded
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, the Aura pedal is great. This company, Audio Sprockets, came out with the Tone Dexter, and I kind of tried that out and really liked that, because you can not only play your dobro through it, but you can set it up for acoustic guitar and switch between them with their own settings.
Amazon will be knocking at the door in a few minutes with one.
Yeah,
Ah,
Yes, I love when I get the emails from Amazon or Sweetwater that say, it's on the way.
oh no. Except the other night when you thought it was a burglar, and then you realized, oh, it was just Amazon making a late delivery.
I had just put in a brand new
thing you
alarm
didn't call the
system
police.
on the house, and it has these cameras and stuff. And so I was playing with all the gadgets, and I just got into bed. It was pretty late at night or early in the morning. And so I pick up my phone, and as I pick up my phone to look at the camera, I see a man's face walking up to my front door, and I am freaking out. I'm like, where's the panic button? There's somebody trying to get in my house. And then as he turns around, I see the Amazon truck. I'm like, oh, I called him to be here.
Foul.
So, Andy, what questions? I know you said you had some questions for Mr. Chaz Williams. What are they? I am waiting to hear.
Well,
Sorry. Yes.
I covered one. Sorry. I
Yeah.
went out of order. Audio Sprockets. What is that called?
Tone
Can't leave
Dexter.
that Tone Dexter.
Tone Dexter.
And you can, it's cool. You set up a microphone and play your instrument with the microphone recording into the Tone Dexter, and it'll take that EQ wave map and make your pickup sound like the microphone.
Oh.
So it's,
Do they do that for
it's-
Mandos?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Tell
We're
ya.
going to talk
Oh,
later.
no.
Yeah. These guys,
No, we
I
need
can-
to see it.
You got Amazon coming in again.
Yeah, they'll
They'll
be coming
be
at the
here.
door.
Yeah.
I had one.
Oh, you did?
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just now telling us.
A Poindexter?
Yeah.
Oh, how much coffee have you had?
Poindexter.
No more. Sorry. Yes.
And
And
I will have another one.
Oh.
It wasn't working out at the time, but I'm pretty happy with what I got going now. But they're great.
Yes.
And Chaz's, it certainly works on Chaz's dobro. So.
does.
You know, I'll say one of the great things about that happened with us gear fanatic collectors is Craigslist. because every time you buy a piece, you got to sell 2 or 3 of them. So,
This is true.
That is true.
Getting good at advertising on Craigslist and taking good pictures of your used gear.
And taking good care of your gear.
Yeah.
And you
Keep
get a gooder
box,
pricer for it.
Keep the box and the bubble wrap and stuff.
It's kind of what Andy does with guitars. He just
He's been on a roll too lately.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kept one.
Well, can we see your pedal board?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, let's see it.
Be glad to.
All right.
Excellent.
So we need that magic sound, Jules.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It is beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice colors.
I
Yeah,
know.
thank
Yes.
And I
Color
like the way
coordinated, the
yeah.
black and the red.
Yeah, thank you. I was really proud of my Ross cutting board,
I was
pedal board.
going to say,
Did you
nice.
make it yourself?
Yes, I
It's
did.
a nice piece of lumber.
It's just
There's a
his-
piece of cheese on there.
yeah.
I was wondering maybe if your wife
I keep
made it
that
for you.
later. Yeah.
Kathleen.
Kathleen got the
She
saws
had a
all
table
out.
saw.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, we got Kathleen fix it up for me.
Man.
I know.
These when these came out, these are little wings that screw into the bottom of your pedal board. Then you can screw them down into the pedal board. That was huge for me at the time when they came out because you end up flying somewhere, and you open your pedal board and stuff was just everywhere. So anyway,
Yeah.
I've come since to discover alien tape.
What's alien tape?
It's just they used to advertise it on TV a lot. It's kind of a clear plastic tape that you can
Different than Velcro?
Yes.
Oh.
and you can glue something down, but you pull it away and it comes off clean, and there's no Velcro glue,
Oh, interesting.
and it works really well.
Oh, alien. I like
So-
the name.
So what you got there?
This is the Tone Dexter
Oh, there it is.
that
It
is not
doesn't seem
alien
very
taped yet.
glued
It's-
down.
The alien glue's not working for you right now.
Well, no, it's just I haven't quite.
Oh, sorry.
He
I
doesn't
wasn't
know.
sure about it yet, so
Yeah.
I wanted to
you
try
pick
it
on
out
him.
before I
You
Yeah,
take it.
don't glue until you decide it's a keeper,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Is that
right.
good
That's right.
advice?
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
None of my Telecasters are glued.
Yeah. All right.
Thankfully.
Yeah. This was a game changer when people started making these power supplies for pedal boards. So now you don't have to, used to have always a bag of 9-volt batteries you had to carry around.
It was terrible and expensive. And
yeah.
then what do you do with all these batteries? They're bad for the environment.
I know you can't use them. I mean, don't want them to get too low. So I've got all these 8.5-volt, 9-volt batteries laying around.
Does that make them 4 volts if you only use half?
Oh boy.
Well,
Boo.
but they're good. They're good for a TV remote at that point. So.
Oh yeah, good recycling.
I have a Fender room. Engine room.
Engine room.
Engine room. I want to
That's
call it
right.
the living room. I don't know why, but it's the engine room. They have a voodoo.
We have voodoos. You're aliens. We're voodoos.
No,
Jazz
he's
is one spot.
one spot.
I know that. I'm making a joke.
Oh, whoops.
The audio.
Sorry, Jazz. The fans are crazy
No,
They
today.
are
no,
crazy
no.
today.
Wow.
Hey, fans.
Thanks for coming.
The audio sprockets has a effects loop, which is cool. I run my little reverb and delay through that, and then a separate output can go to an amp on stage, which I'll put a volume pedal before that, and I can give myself more amplifier if I need, just personal volume.
Fake out
And
the
then-
sound, man.
Yeah,
right.
we like that.
How's that
Andy
get
taught us
louder?
that trick.
I'm very sorry about that.
Oh no.
So this is a Strymon, right?
Yes,
We have Strymons, but it doesn't look like this. What is this?
They
this
have
is
Mr. Blue Sky.
the Flint. This was an Andy recommendation. Yeah, so I was looking for a reverb, and he said, "Man, check out the Flint."
And tremolo.
Yes, reverb and tremolo.
Oh, in one box.
Yeah, and it does a really nice old Fender tremolo, which I have an old concert amp that has the greatest sound in tremolo, and this does it really well.
Really?
Yeah,
I must point out that the knobs that they use very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
right,
look
great.
ceramic
It
almost.
is all great looking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good looking, vintage kind of too,
Yeah.
like that black with this. I like it.
Chicks
Small.
with gear.
She likes the shiny.
Well, if you're going to spend money on something, if it looks nice, that's an added benefit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I would think these are easier to use too because they're a little bit bigger.
Yeah, you can kind of scroll these
Mm-hmm.
easier. And if you really need to get in there and change little stuff,
Yes.
you have the little knobs. And that way you don't accidentally bump the little knob.
Oh, that's a really good idea. We like
I'm not
Strymon
sure if
brand.
that's, I don't think that's the reason they made them little knobs, but they probably just ran out of space. But
I'm always afraid. So this is where I'm at. You know, like I get it set. I look at Andy's. I'm like, okay, he's got that set like that. Oh, something on like that. And then if something gets moved, it really scares me. I'm like, oh no, how do I fix it? Go back over there. Right, who touched
What do
them?
these little guys do?
that selects which type of reverb, that selects which type of tremolo.
Nice.
So you pick your, like I was talking about the old Fender amp tremolo. I got it set to that. So
Does that go in like the $300 to $800 range?
Yeah, you're in there.
I am okay. I'm looking. I'm in the market for a new pedal.
Below
Yes.
that, you're good. We could start with that and still have
More room for other
yeah,
things.
triple
Yes.
018 is you still have some for that.
This is an analog delay unit, which is sounds cool. It's used to be analog delays would only do 300 millisecond long delays, but now they got them where this one will do 600 milliseconds, which is right in about where I like it.
Yes.
And the delays kind of gradually taper off, giving you the analog kind of function. So,
You had a carbon copy, right?
yeah, I got a
And
carbon
then
copy for my guitar
Deb
rig.
copied you with a carbon copy.
Ah,
I
And
do.
now
Those are
Julie
great.
And then
has
she gave
the
it to me.
carbon copy.
yeah,
Yes,
they're great. Yeah, love it.
I like it too.
So what you guys have Flint or Strymon stuff, right?
Yes.
I do not.
Andy and I have one that are similar, although mine, I can plug 2 instruments into mine.
Oh, that's the Grace.
That's
Preamp.
great.
That's a preamp, right?
Yeah,
Preamp.
Felix.
Oh, Felix.
I
Yes.
only have the Alex.
Well, then this is for you here.
But I had a Felix.
This is for me?
This is for you because with the Tone Dexter, you can have your, one mandolin preset,
Yes.
and the level of that, the input level of that can be preset. The EQ can be preset. Then you can set up a different preset for your other instruments, like your mandocello, and, which the gain is totally different for that.
Oh, yes,
right?
it is.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that
And they're on sale
Game
right now
changer
at
for me.
Sweetwater. Just kidding.
I have to say though, when you're looking on your phone at these, make sure your finger doesn't get too close to the buy now button. Because without even touching it,
Yes.
sometimes it'll actually
You're
make the
talking to the wrong person
I
there,
know.
Chief.
Yeah, that's
I
what happened
know.
to me.
Well, what's terrible about that is back during the pandemic, we were all kind of bored sitting around. And so one morning I woke up and I got an email and it said, "Thank you for purchasing your your Fender amp for $900. And I was like, wait, what?
That's mad.
I was looking at it,
Yeah.
but I bought it. And it happens to be sitting right behind me, and I do love it very much. But I didn't realize I had actually pulled the trigger, but maybe that's what happened.
That's actually
hit
did
the-
happen to me on this.
Ah,
Too bad. I'm gonna have to get it now.
I'm going to
guess
have to keep
it's
it.
coming to me.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Craigslist.
That's so funny.
Well, should we turn this around so the great people who are watching
yeah.
us
They
on
can see it.
YouTube can see your beautiful pedal
Oh
board?
yeah.
Oh.
Yes. It's pretty.
So I guess to summarize, the tone is created with the audio sprockets, and then a little bit of sweetener for delay and reverb, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
Pretty
simple.
simple. Yeah, it's easy to carry around. You can just walk in, make one trip from the car with this on your backpack and a dobro over your shoulder.
I like that.
Nice. Well, Chaz, thanks for sharing all your secrets.
Not so secret, but glad to.
And hey, there's something else that we didn't talk about is that you have an app for your book.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Do tell.
Yeah, back in
Sorry.
2011.
I'm sorry.
The fans really want to hear about this
The
app.
app is that's huge. It has been a game changer for me. But in 2011, a guy approached me and said, "Hey, man, you should do an app. Let's do one for the number system to write number charts on your iPad." And at the time, I was carrying around giant bags of paper charts, and that sounded great. So we started developing an app. He had a buddy who became our partner, and the three of us started drawing up pictures of how we'd want a keyboard to look and what the app should do and how it should look, and spent a lot of time and effort on that. And in the meantime, another app company came out with their app, which we got. So anyway, we carried on and got an app built and got it to market, and recently just had an update with a lot of fixes and a couple of new things. But our app is different and cool because you can use it. You can write a chart on your iPhone or your iPad.
Wow.
And it's also
Groovy.
crickets.
Chaz,
Wait.
what is the name of your
What was I
app
going to
called?
say? I was going to say something. It's called Nashville Numbers.
Okay.
And you get it at the App Store.
Nice.
Easy
Well,
to
everything
download.
is going digital these days, and you always have this kind of groovy, your little iPad when you're reading charts on stage. And that's new. That's a new thing.
Yeah, and there's so many. If you're being a freelance musician in Nashville, you're responsible for so much material. And
Short period of time.
people get up and sit in and want to play a song that you may have heard once or never at all, and you can pull up your chart and actually sound like you might know what you're doing.
And it looks a whole lot better. We
Jazz.
still put our charts and stuff on the ground. That doesn't look so good.
Who puts charts on the ground?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
set lists.
A set list. We don't do the set list anymore on the ground.
no.
Charts
We
that you know
actually
how they go.
use the scroller
Yeah.
because of Chaz.
Yes, that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah, the scroller's awesome.
I saw him and David when we got back together to play the first gig, and I'm like, look at this, because it had been a while since I'd been on stage. And so I don't know, it could have been around for a long time, but
And we couldn't read the papers on the floor.
we couldn't
Let's
read the
just admit
papers
it.
on the floor, and I said to Julie and Andy, I cannot read the set list. So we put giant set list together, and that looked retarded. So this is beautiful to be able to have an iPad.
You're not allowed to say retarded.
Oh, sorry. Foul.
You can
it
only
was-
call your friends retarded.
It was stupid. It was stupid.
It was very messy.
Yeah, it was very messy and unprofessional looking. So thank you, Chaz, again for
But-
another little great tip.
And another, we haven't even talked about playing outdoors in
Yes.
windy conditions and having a paper clip or
clothespin.
grid clip all your charts onto the music
Yes.
stand.
Yeah, that's never a good thing.
Yeah, the iPad has been a game changer for a lot of players, I think. But having said that, it's always better to play without a chart.
Yes, it
And
is.
you guys
Memorize.
so
That's-
committed.
and remember, kids, don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Right. But
Memorize
if you're
those
going to do
songs.
them,
Yes, if
Yes.
you obviously Chaz only does that when he's playing with people who are just coming up and just met them and you don't know their songs. Especially
Yeah.
this is a songwriter town.
or
so
if you have a gig in a few days,
yes,
and,
like tomorrow.
They
have to
give you 50
learn 30
songs.
songs or something. So
Yeah. And this just makes it so much easier with the number system, even better, right? Because that
Right,
chart
right.
is smaller to begin with. You're not going flipping through pages of stuff back in the day. So, very nice way to be able to be a player and be able to get out there quick. And nobody knows that you're reading the charts. That's the other really cool thing
Yeah.
with these iPads. You would never know somebody was reading a chart.
Well, that's kind of the object, is to put it where if you're playing dobro, you're kind of looking that way anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretend like you're not reading a chart.
Yeah. Andy?
Yeah.
I think Andy's been trying to say something over
No,
here.
it's okay.
Go ahead,
Anyway,
Andy.
I'm
We
sorry.
want to hear from
Don't
Andy
say
Most.
You got to jump in there, Oh.
Come on, our resident gearhead.
Chaz has always been an idea guy. He's always coming
Yes.
up with ideas. And we're going to talk about the Smokey on another episode.
I want to talk about
One
the
of my
Smokey.
favorite Chaz inventions.
Come on, let's talk about the Smokey. What's the Smokey?
Well,
Come on, Chaz.
there
you
was
got it.
a guy who made amps out of cigarette box, and he had a little speaker in
Like
the
a
box.
cigarette pack.
A box of cigarettes,
Really?
and there's an input and maybe a volume knob, and it sounded like a rock guitar when you plugged into it. So I found a speaker and took the amp section out of that and glued it into my Takamine guitar inside.
Oh,
But didn't tell people about it.
Right.
of course not.
Had a little speaker in there. I'd boxed it into like a plastic soap box or something for the cabinet as a little tiny cabinet.
That's awesome.
And the amplifier I had wired to the actual electronics of the guitar, so I could work the EQ and the volume from that. And so, yeah, I could get the acoustic guitar really loud. And people were, wow, that's the loudest Takamine I've ever heard in my life. And then, you can make it distort a little bit. And then you got blending, and it's like it was kind of a fun thing. But
Yeah. At first, my reaction was terrible. I was like, why?
I know that's
But then it was followed by brilliant. So it took me a little while to get on board.
yeah, right. Well,
So did it smell smoky?
No.
no, only after Andy played it. He's smoking it.
He was smoking.
He smokes a guitar.
That's for sure. That's awesome.
But that's kind of the legend of the Smokey.
Yeah.
And I sensed somebody came out with a thing you can glue to the back of your acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And it's like it effects and volume, and
I've wanted to get one of those. But
that sounds pretty interesting.
That's right.
We learned a lot from you today.
Oh,
We learned a lot about you today. We got to play music with you today.
I know,
yeah.
that was fabulous.
Really, totally my pleasure.
Much fun.
It was
Yeah,
so much
it was
fun.
really fun.
Prince Charles.
Yes,
Prince
thanks for
Andrew,
sharing all your-
thank you.
We're among royalty. Excellent.
That's right. Well, we like to end the show with a little toast
Oh, yes.
with our favorite drink called Yerbas.
Yerbas. Oh, my gosh.
And this one happens to be called Peach Revival.
Oh. I need to be revived.
Yes, supposed to be pretty healthy, Chaz.
It's
This
20%.
stuff here.
Oh, 20 calories.
Not, no alcohol. All right, so cheers.
So cheers.
Cheers.
To Yerba Mate.
Yes. Come on.
Andy,
Don't
come
forget-
on.
Don't forget, oh.
Aha.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, that's
We
very
like the
refreshing.
peachy. It's very peachy.
Ooh, yes.
And now, don't feel like you have to do this, but I gave
Drink
you all
it.
a magic mind as a little chaser. So to help you get into the flow state, and we're thinking maybe we do this at the beginning of the show, maybe for me. I'm not saying the rest of you need to
Okay.
get into your flow state. So a little bit of magic mind.
Oh,
Yes.
here we go.
Ready?
Little
Cheers.
matcha.
All at once?
All at once. Come on, you got it.
Oh, my
This
No
isn't a
tequila.
second thing, though.
You're opening yours kind of slowly over there. Here we go.
It's still green.
Oh, that was a large swallow. I apologize if that got on the microphone. I'm gonna back away from the mic.
That's your mic.
Oh, Chaz is the winner.
Chaz, woohoo! Wait for your flow state to arrive. Doesn't take long.
Tastes just fine.
I think it tastes good.
Yeah.
Now, some people put it in their coffee, and I have tried that, and I don't recommend it.
Doesn't seem like the kind of compatible flavor for
It
coffee.
does not seem compatible at all.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Y'all have the same results as Debbie has when you drink that?
I don't know. I think
This is for everybody's first to try.
no. Actually, we've had it several times.
That's right.
I just haven't. I need to be consistent with it.
It is a consistency thing. It definitely, the more you do it. But I will say, the first time I did it, did you ever see the movie For the Love of the Game?
Yes,
No, I know
Kevin
I've
Costner.
heard of it, yeah. But
So there's this, he does this thing. Yes, Kevin Costner. Yeah. So I love that movie. And he has this thing that he does to get all
Engage
the
the
clapping.
mechanism.
Yes, engage the mechanism. And so this whole thing happens. When I took Magic Mind the first time, that's what happened to me. It was just like the whole world shut out. And my brain was like, woohoo, let's focus. It was crazy. I mean, seriously, I'm not kidding. And I'm not getting paid to say this, although I do have an affiliate link in case you want to get a discount off your Magic Mind.
so
That's what we thought.
They make it in Birmingham, you said?
Oh, look at that.
Is your bus made in Birmingham?
No, I thought you said it was, but
Did I say that?
there was a
Oh, no,
where
what
you
I
got-
said
had to try it
was
the first time. maybe.
there
That's
was so when with this whole yerba thing, we thought we made up the word, or Siri made it up.
Right.
And so I'm down in Birmingham at this little tiny coffee shop,
that's
and I see on their blackboard yerbas. And I'm like, what? And so I texted them with a picture of it. And so then later I found these in Whole Foods.
Yes.
Shout out to Whole Foods.
Oh,
And
Yerbas.
What coffee shop was it?
It's a little one over by I don't know the name of it. It's there's a chain, but it's a local chain.
you're making it up.
I'm not making it up. It's a really good coffee shop. They have sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches, and big like booths that look like pews. Yeah.
Well, it's a church also. Birmingham.
Yeah.
It's a church. Yes. So, anyways, these are my finds along the way,
Yeah.
and I do like them a lot.
Yes.
So I've been trying to encourage them to eat them and drink them as well, and not to eat them. I mean, just drink them.
Well, it's thick enough to feel like food. It is. Well, that's all we have for today. A big thank you to Chaz Williams for joining us in Studio 3.0 today. And thanks to all of you for tuning in.
For being on the podcast, Chicks with Gear.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Charles, fantastic sharing all that info with us.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Going back in time. I'm working on the affiliate thing right here.
And until next time,
Don't you worry about it.